It is a story of a dark night in 1580s when Sarmiento, an astronomer, a mathematician, and the first European to step into the Pacific, uh, saw something into the sky, and he decided somewhere in Puerto Rico to anchor his ship. The thing he saw, he described that view as: tonight we saw a round thing appear, reddish like a fire, like a shield, that rose up into the sky on the wind. These words were translated by John Simpson in his article, The First Recorded Aurora Australis. At this time, Sarmiento was experiencing the beautiful phenomena of aurora. Aurora is something that occurs scientifically either on the North Pole or the South Pole. We'll cover all the parts of it, but before that, I'll tell you why I chose this topic. This is because I've been a very curious kid and have been annoying my parents by my curious questions, and that made me an astronomical enthusiast. So I have been researching on this topic since 3 years. The speech covers the background of auroras, how aurora is formed, and what are the effects of aurora on Earth and us, except of mesmerizing us. And at the end, there's a fun fact which I'm going to reveal. So starting from the background, it was in 1619 when Galileo termed the word aurora for the name, based on the name of Roman goddess Aurora. And in 1859, it was discovered that it is a scientific concept. It's not a myth or a magic. But it was not until 1880s when this was the basic concept behind aurora was coined. Moving forward from the background towards how aurora is formed. So there are some factors which have to line up accordingly and in order to form the auroras. So imagine the sun, from where the solar particles are coming towards the earth, coating arid beds. Earth is a huge magnet ball with two poles. So the solar particles disturb the magnetic field around the earth and somehow enter into the earth. The magnetic field at the North Pole and the South Pole is weaker as compared to the rest of the Earth. That is the reason that aurora is formed away from the equator. Quoting article, differentiating diffuse aurora based on phenomenology. The immediate cause of aurora is the precipitation of electrons and protons in the atmosphere. So whenever the solar particles react with the atmosphere, beautiful auroras are formed, which could be of any color, from green, red, purple, but we mostly see auroras in green colors. Now, the concerning part is that whenever these solar particles react with the atmosphere, before that, they are manipulating the magnetic field around the Earth. So what happens when this magnetic field is disturbed? And how it affects us. So the good news is the magnetic field is able to form itself again, but the bad part is that every time the magnetic field reforms, it becomes weaker, and therefore the other cosmic rays from around the space can also make their way into the earth, which is not good for the mankind. However, it's the time for the fun fact I talked to you about at the beginning of the speech. So, Earth is not the only planet that have auroras in it. Quoting article, a response of Jupiter's and Saturn's auroral activity to solar wind. Jupiter and Saturn also experience auroras. The only planet that doesn't experience aurora is Mercury, and that is because it doesn't have the environment from which solar particles can react. So summarizing the entire speech, we explored the background of auroras, that it was in 1800s when we were able to describe that how auroras are formed, and auroras are formed because of the solar particles coming from the earth and coming from the sun and reacting with the environment in the earth. Moreover, the manipulation of solar particles with the magnetic field can be very harmful for mankind because they can allow the cosmic rays around from the space to come into the earth. And lastly, Earth is not the only planet that experiences auroras. So I hope you learned something from the speech, and I would like to share a quote from Albert Einstein at the end of my speech. Nature concealed her mystery by her essential grandeur. Thank you.